What's up, y'all? I'll be going over Friday's price action on Nasdaq. This was on December 13th. I did end up taking a trade today, and I was profitable. I ended up taking a short because my daily bias was bearish. So first and foremost, I see this bearish SMT form right here. Got these highs, and then we have over here these lows. So I'm very bearish so far. I just need a little bit more confirmation. So right here we have this draw on liquidity. I think it was like a 4-hour draw on liquidity. So we end up sweeping this liquidity right here, boom, up here. And then we get, if we scale down to a lower time frame, let's scale down to a lower time frame for right now. Let's go to like the 15-minute. So from here, I'm thinking, all right, bro, we're probably gonna get some sort of bearish movement from here, and so we actually scale down to the 5-minute. So for as of right now, we have as confirmation, we have this bearish SMT, and then we have like a BPR. This is like a 1-hour BPR right here. So this is a pretty good area for price to retrace into. And so that's basically it for me for right there. And then I ended up taking the trade before the New York Stock Exchange opened, simply based on the fact that I thought we had a pretty good entry, which I think we did. And so we see this whole down move on the 5-minute. And then I like to wait for a 5-minute retracement. This just wasn't going to cut it. Like these two black candles, that wasn't enough confirmation for like, possibly like a reversal. So we break a structure here on the 5-minute, and I wait for the 5-minute retrace here. And so at 8:55, we're looking for a break of structure back to the downside. So 8:55, we're looking for a break of structure to the downside. 8:55. So around here, around 8:55, we're waiting for a break of structure. This is our previous low down here. So we don't end up breaking structure. We don't end up breaking structure. I mean, this is our low actually right here. We end up breaking structure on this candle. But I honestly wanted to wait for a little bit more confirmation, so I waited for one more 1-minute candle down. I entered about right here. Yeah, I entered right here. And like I was talking to you guys earlier, right? We have this pretty strong area for price to retrace into. It's a BPR, right? So I wasn't willing to put my take profits like any lower than that. I first wanted to wait and see how price would develop after, price would get into this area. So as we can actually see on the 1-hour, so this is our 1-hour BPR. We have this fair value gap, this fair value gap, and this fair value gap, which price does not, like sure price retrace into here, but like price never actually fully closed in these areas. So we have this BPR right here, huge BPR, very strong area for price to retrace into. So I end up putting my take profit slightly well, I wouldn't say slightly above it. Well, if I scale down, I can get a better idea of my thought process. But essentially, we have this 1-hour BPR right here, and then my stop loss. My stop loss was above this, around here, around up here. Where'd I enter? Hold up. Yeah, so my stop loss was just above here. I think it was actually a little bit higher. I was moving around yesterday. I think it was like around up here. So we enter right here. If price ends up closing above here, I'm thinking that our trade is, or our bias is invalidated. However, it wasn't invalidated right? Because we end up taking profit right here. And oh yeah, so that's my stop loss, and then my take profit, I did not put it all the way down here because we had this draw on liquidity. We had this low right here. So, you guys know me, right? I don't really like to put it on the line exactly. I like to put it a little bit above it, right? So, we do end up coming down here very, very swiftly. We tap into it literally on the 1 minute. We tap into it at some point on the 1 minute. We don't even close on the 1 minute. We literally just tap into it, and from there, boom, price shoots back up and literally comes all the way up here. So this whole area, you guys are probably wondering what it is. This is a Fibonacci retracement tool, which I ended up using after I saw this whole upwards move. Obviously, I wasn't going to enter a trade again, but just for fun, I decided to test it. I like to test out my tools. So basically, what you do is you put. Hold up. Let me move this out of the way right here. I'll show you guys how to do it. Obviously, my settings are a little bit different on mine than what it comes with. So you want to mark up. This high right here, and then you want to mark up the low down here. So you want to take the swing high, and you want to drag it down to the swing low, and this right here gives you a pretty good area of where price might come back to. So as we can see, price did go above it, but eventually it did end up plummeting down. So and we use this when we're at all-time highs, correct? We don't use this for any other circumstance, basically. At least for me, right? You guys could probably use it for, if you guys are trying to mark up, equilibrium or something. This is basically the same thing, right? Fibonacci tools are the same. It's basically the same thing I use, right? For, equilibrium. But that's what we use. That's, not really too important to know right now. I guess the main takeaways was, we had the SMT, bearish SMT, and then we just use our strategy, which is we wait for that sweep of liquidity. We want to get some selling pressure out of it. So I think we had three candles. So that was 15-minute downwards move. And then we wait for the 5-minute retracement, which we ended up getting. And then we wait for the 1-minute break of structure to the downside. And then we want to target, areas of liquidity, which we had one right here. We had a low. And then we also had this huge this huge BPR right here. And so that's where we ended up taking profit. Price shoots back all the way up here and then literally just plummets on this huge black candle to the downside. So that's honestly basically it for me today. It's just the same process. It's literally just trying to find an SMT if we can find one, and then mark up our liquidity levels, and then wait for price to sweep it to get a reaction off of it, and then we wait for that retracement, and then we wait for the break of structure on the 1 minute. So overall, this week was 3 for 3, and we didn't trade on I think it was Wednesday and Thursday, because obviously if you guys watch my last two videos, you guys will see why that is. It's just price action, in my opinion, wasn't the best here. And so, however, I did see a very reasonable trade to enter here, so that's why I ended up doing it. But yeah, boys, that's basically it for me today. I'll catch you guys in the next one.